He was the coolest man in rap, the fashion icon, the trendsetter, the man who turned Harlem into a runway. And then, overnight, he was a prisoner in a country that didn't speak his language. But here's what they didn't show you. Rakim Athalaston Mayers was born on October 3rd, 1988. Not in a mansion, not in a suburb. In Harlem, New York, one of the most unforgiving zip codes in America. His father sold drugs. His brother was murdered. By the time Rocky was 12 years old, his father was in prison, and his family was homeless. He slept in shelters. He slept on the street. But even then, he was watching, learning, absorbing everything around him. Music wasn't a dream for Rocky. It was survival. He started rapping in his early teens, but what made him different wasn't just the bars. It was the vision. In 2006, Rocky helped form the ASAP Mob, a collective of rappers, designers, models, and creatives who didn't just want to make music. They wanted to control culture. In 2011, Rocky dropped his mixtape, Long.Live.A AP. He gave it away for free. Within weeks, the internet exploded. RCA Records came calling with a $3 million deal. Not bad for a kid who once couldn't afford dinner.
By 2013, A$AP Rocky wasn't just a rapper. He was a movement. He wore things other rappers wouldn't dare touch. Floral prints, skirts, avant-garde silhouettes. In a genre defined by hypermasculinity, Rocky didn't care. And that confidence, it was magnetic. He collaborated with Kanye, with Drake, with Kendrick, with Tyler, the Creator. His second album went platinum. He was on every magazine you could name. But here's where it gets interesting. Behind the lens, behind the Dior suits and the platinum plaques, the pressure was building. Quietly, slowly, like a fault line before an earthquake. Fame has a way of shrinking you, even as it makes you larger than life. And Rocky, as untouchable as he looked, was not immune. He rarely talked about his past, rarely talked about the grief, the brother he lost, the father who was absent, the years he spent with nothing. When you bury things that deep, eventually they surface.
June 30th, 2019. Stockholm, Sweden. Rocky was in Europe for a concert run. On a quiet street, a confrontation broke out. Two men, who Rocky claimed had been following and harassing his security team for hours, got into a physical fight with members of his crew. Rocky filmed it, he posted it. He thought that was the end of it. It was just the beginning. Swedish authorities arrested A$AP Rocky and held him without bail for over a month in a cell in a foreign country while his tours were canceled and the world watched. The reaction was immediate and enormous. Fans flooded the streets. Celebrities tweeted. Petitions circulated. Even Kim Kardashian got involved, calling the White House directly. Donald Trump, then President of the United States, personally called the Swedish Prime Minister, offered to put up bail money, said Rocky was a good person. Think about that for a second. A rapper from Harlem had the sitting President of the United States making phone calls on his behalf.
The trial lasted 3 days. Rocky represented himself with dignity. He was found guilty of assault, but given a suspended sentence, no prison time. He flew home. But the damage wasn't just legal. It was psychological. He described feeling helpless, stripped of everything that made him feel like himself. The clothes, the music, the movement, just a man in a cell, waiting. And the controversy didn't stop there. In April 2023, Rocky was arrested again, this time in Los Angeles, on felony assault charges, allegedly firing a gun at a former friend. He was arrested at LAX, coming off a private jet, with Rihanna by his side. The timing couldn't have been more brutal. Before the arrests, before the headlines,
There was a love story hiding in plain sight. Rocky and Rihanna had been in each other's orbits for nearly a decade. He opened for her on tour in 2013. They were spotted together at events, at parties, in the same social circles. For years, people whispered, "Are they? Aren't they?" Then in 2020, during the pandemic, something shifted. They were seen together in Barbados. The body language said everything the publicists wouldn't. In May 2021, Rocky confirmed it in the most rocky way possible. A GQ cover story where he called Rihanna the love of his life. The internet lost its mind. And something remarkable happened to Rocky's image. The enigmatic, untouchable, slightly dangerous fashion icon suddenly seemed human. They welcomed their first child in May 2022. Their second in August 2023. A family built quietly in the middle of the chaos. But even love couldn't fully shield him. Because 3 months after their second child was born, the felony assault case was still alive, still in court, still hanging over everything. In February 2025, the jury found him not guilty on the most serious charge, a partial victory. But the trial itself, the exposure, the public scrutiny, had already cost him something. So what do we actually make of A$AP Rocky? Is he a victim of fame? A man who never fully escaped the world that made him? Or someone who, despite every opportunity, kept walking toward the fire? There's a pattern you see with artists from his background. The fame arrives faster than the healing. The money comes before the therapy. And the streets, no matter how many private jets you take, have a long memory. Rocky has spoken, rarely but honestly, about the grief he carries, about being raised without a father, about watching his brother die, about what homelessness does to a child's sense of safety. Trauma doesn't disappear when you become famous. It just gets a bigger stage. And yet, there's another argument. Rocky is a grown man with resources, with influence. At some point, the choices are his. The altercations, the confrontations, the pattern. Maybe both things are true at once. Maybe the most honest thing we can say is, he is a deeply talented, deeply complicated man who has never quite outrun himself. A$AP Rocky built an empire from nothing. From a shelter in Harlem to the front row of Paris Fashion Week. From mixtapes on the internet to platinum albums and Hollywood films. He changed what a rapper could look like, what a rapper could care about. He made beauty feel hard, made hardness feel beautiful. But the question that lingers, the one that doesn't have a clean answer, is the crown worth the wait? Some men are built for fame. Some men are broken by it. And some men are both. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts.